Hi there. Welcome to Failure Bites Bite Back. I'm Alberto Savoia, that's me there, and this is a series of videos based on my book, The Right It, Why So Many Ideas Fail and How to Make Sure Yours Succeed. Today we're going to look at why it's a bad idea to invest in good ideas. Now, on the surface, this statement sounds wrong, but it is not. I will explain why I stand behind it, and by the end of this video, I believe that you will agree with me. It's a bad idea to invest in good ideas. Let me explain. Let's start by agreeing that nobody intentionally invests in bad ideas. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, this is a terrible idea, I'm going to spend a pile of money to build it, and then I'm going to launch it, it's going to fail, and I'm going to lose all that money. That does not happen. People only invest in what they think are good ideas. Ideas that if launched, they believe will succeed. However, in a previous video, we've learned about the law of market failure, which states most new ideas will fail in the market, even if competently executed. So we have a strange situation here. On the one hand, we have this fact that people only invest in what they think are good ideas. And on the other hand, we know that most new ideas fail in the market, even if competently executed, which can only mean one thing. Most of those ideas that people thought they were good to start with are not actually good ideas because they fail in the market. So what's going on here? Well, in order to explain, let me introduce the concept of Thoughtland. Thoughtland is a place where ideas are created. You have an idea, you start thinking about it, you come up with your own opinion, you explain the idea to other people, and they give you their opinion and their prediction. Now, this sounds relatively harmless, but it's not, because a lot of troubling things happen to ideas in Thoughtland. In my book, I talk about the 4 major problems that happen in Thoughtland. But in this case, I don't want to spend too much time because I don't want the video to be too long. So I'm going to jump to the conclusion, which is this. When you combine ideas, opinions, and predictions, you end up in very dangerous territory. Let me explain. Let's assume you have an idea, and my example here is an idea which I thought was very good, the Segway transporter by the great inventor Dean Kamen. Now, when people started to hear about the Segway transporter, most of them thought it was a brilliant idea. Architects thought that cities would be redesigned because everybody would be moving around in Segways. It received a lot of publicity. It was in the cover of magazines, and it benefited from over $180 million in VC funding by some of the best VCs and investors on the planet. However, after the product was launched, it turned out to be a failure. In fact, who do you see riding Segways today? Well, generally speaking, mall cops and lazy tourists. The idea failed. It failed to meet our expectations and the expectations of the inventors and the investors. This is what I call a false positive. People think it's a great idea in Thoughtland, they launch it and it fails. How common are false positives? They're incredibly common. In a previous video, I talked about the Google graveyard, all of the Google products that failed, and the Microsoft morgue, same for Microsoft. And we looked at a lot of other products that had very impressive and positive and hopeful beginnings. Everybody thought they would be great ideas, but after they were launched, they actually failed. So what happened here is that the law of market failure is blind. It doesn't care who you are or how well you build the idea of how many people think it's a great idea. Most new ideas will fail in the market, even if competently executed. By the way, the opposite can also happen on Thoughtland. You can have an idea and a lot of people think it's a terrible idea. I felt like that about Twitter. When I first heard about it, I thought, this is a crazy idea. What's with 140 characters? And everybody gets to follow anyone else. It makes no sense to me. But as we know, for better or worse, Twitter has been proved to be extremely successful with a great adoption rate. So this is an example of a false negative that happens in Thoughtland. People think it's a terrible idea, and then it turns out to be successful. So here's your challenge. You have an idea. You hope it's the right it, meaning an idea which, if successfully executed, will succeed in the market. But we know that the odds are against you, that most ideas turn out to be the wrong it, an idea which, regardless of how well you implement it and execute it, is going to fail in the market. So how do you proceed? Well, if you cannot depend on opinions, what do you have? Well, you have data. One of the best things I've learned by working at Google is to internalize this expression. Data beats opinion. Make your decision based on data, not on opinions. And this leads to this conclusion. Do not invest in good ideas, because as we have seen, most good ideas turn out to fail in the market. Instead, you invest in good data that validates the idea in the real world, not in Thoughtland. In the next video, I'm going to talk more about good data and how it will lead you to find the right it. We're going to discuss OPD and why you must avoid it. OPD sounds like OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and it's also another very good thing to have and follow. And then we're going to talk about Yoda, how Yoda can guide you to success. So if you like this video, I hope you subscribe to my channel because I plan to put out a lot more of these videos. And of course, if you want to read in depth, I would love it if you buy my book, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to love it too, and it will help you be more successful. With that, I thank you for listening, and I hope to see you back soon again. Thank you.